My story about summer 2010. For the last 2 summers, Ms. Shapiro has had the pleasure of teaching me in a life skills summer program at MAMS. While Ms. Shapiro sees me in school and at computer club during the school year, Ms. Shapiro does not formally instruct me in academics. From the summer of 2009 to the summer of 2010, a 10-month gap, Ms. Shapiro was extremely pleased to see positive behavioral, academic, and social progress in me. My behaviors. I was a role model for appropriate behavior. While the summer is more relaxed in atmosphere, I adhered to all rules and helped to create class rules. As an 8th grader coming up in September, I was a role model for the incoming 7th graders like Michael Bralantino, who graduated from Chatterton, and Allison Peralta also graduated from Chatterton, and Blake Pinson graduated from my old elementary school, Dinkelmeyer. He's a year younger than me. Summer school has a structured daily schedule that is displayed on the board. In addition, a schedule of service such as PT and speech is posted so that students are aware of when their provider will be arriving. There are daily constants such as arrival activity, game and snack time, lunch, and reflection at the end of each day in the form of the ticket out of the door. Trips and academics are woven into the schedule as well. This summer, there were a number of demonstration lessons of potential job candidates. I was expected to maintain my adherence to the class rules as well as follow directions given by the candidate. When we were able to, the students were told in advance that the following day, guests would be coming into class to work with them. Sometimes, however, plans were changed after the conclusion of the school day. In instances where we had to inform the students of the change in their schedule, I was flexible and understanding. I was able to remain on task, respected the expectations of Ms. Shapiro, and when I needed refocusing, redirection, I responded to merely one prompt. My social. I had grown socially from the summer of 2009 to the summer of 2010. In 2009, I attended classes with one of my best friends, which was Emily Hess. This past summer, Emily was in attendance of summer school, but only for a brief period of time. I did not exhibit the same reliance on Emily. In fact, Emily was one of the most social students in the class and I was one of the most social students in the class and embarked on new classroom relationships. I served a peer mentor, taking a new student around the building for a tour and telling them about school. I also indicated interaction between myself and a nonverbal student who is Russell. Overall, my interaction with friends and adults were age appropriate. I engaged in conversations with my friends and teachers, and often joked around with them. I was able to maintain focus on a topic and exhibited appropriate eye contact. I greeted all adults each morning upon arrival and said goodbye upon departure. If I became too silly or persuasive on a particular topic, I was easily redirected. The summer school program selects trips to various places around the community, places that enhance or complement curriculum, and also require students to practice life skills. Before each trip, we rehearse a script with the students. For example, we took the LIRR, which stands for Long Island Railroad, to a bowling alley in Rockville Center. The name was Maple Lanes. Students rehearsed what they would say to the attendant at the ticket window, as well as how to access the automated ticket machine. Because we also eat lunch at the bowling alley, it was necessary to rehearse how to place an order. Manners are reviewed as well. Ms. Shapiro or a paraprofessional like Ms. Maroney, Ms. Riggio, Ms. Marcioli, Mr. Clausen, Nurse Ashley, Miss Johnson, of course, and Miss Funk, Miss Brooks, and I think that's it. So, is always supervising these interactions. I needed minimal support each time we embarked on a trip. While we prepped for each trip, I was a leader in class discussion regarding what to say and what facial expression to use. It was great to see that I internalized the appropriate behaviors and socialization techniques as needed for the real world. My academic. One purpose of the Life Skills program at MAMS is to prevent academic regression. There are daily academic lessons planned which focus on math, primarily money skills, reading and writing. Social studies, science, and health are integrated into the review of these skills to enhance learning. When we worked on reading comprehension, I exhibited the ability to go back into the passage to locate answers. I also showed my ability to decode words and sounded out those that were unfamiliar. While we presented the class with a new vocabulary, I, when provided with context clues, could deduce the meaning of the new terms. I exhibited listening comprehension skills. This was evidenced by my ability to follow verbally delivered directions on instructions and my ability to answer questions or pose questions of my own relevant to a story read aloud or information shared verbally. For example, we had a visit from the Humane Society of Wantagh on Tuesday, July 20th. Two speakers came to inform the class about humane education. They brought 3 dogs with them. Despite my excitement about interacting with the dogs, I asked the speakers questions during the lecturing session regarding how they find animals and who owned the dogs that were brought to school on that day. The theme of this past summer was Long Island. The students were asked to research a Long Island tourist attraction. Following a step-by-step how-to lesson, I accessed the provided website link, printed my article, read it, and highlighted information that was relevant to the purpose of the activity. After I typed my rough draft, I participated in an editing session with Ms. Shapiro. I revised my work and generated my final copy. This was the most intense writing activity of the summer. On the final day of the activity, I utilized my one-to-one to the fullest extent. It is necessary to note that overall, I really did not require to the intense service a one-to-one would ordinarily provide. A teacher, Ms. Shapiro could have provided the same level of service to me, perhaps a one-to-one, at least in summer school, is too restrictive. Daily, I responded to short, reflective questions usually presented at the end of the day. I was able to effectively answer the questions supported by reasons and details. This was seen in verbal responses as well. Regarding math, the majority of the focus on was consumer math, basic addition and subtraction regarding money, and a recognition of whether or not students had enough money for a purchase, how much money needed to be given during a monetary exchange, and whether or not they should expect change back after paying for an item. I know the value of coins and paper money. When I took my time, I was able to estimate how much money to hand over a cashier. I also would wait for change. There was definite progress from 2009 to 2010 last summer. I would hand a cashier my money and then walk away without waiting for change. This is still an area that I need to work on, but again, there has been improvement. It was great to see that I maintained my ability to count out my money, determine if I needed more or less, and wait for change when I was placed in a real-world situation that had slightly more pressure than the classroom simulations. I arrived to school each day prepared with necessary material and ready to learn. I was a leader in class participation and discussion. Additionally, I was a true friend, mentor. I was friends with everyone in the class. While Ms. Shapiro admits that Ms. Shapiro spent a snapshot of time with me, Ms. Shapiro believes that I made progress behaviorally, socially, and academically. Well, we'll see you all next summer in 2011.